Assalamualaikum to Madam Nadia. Today, my group will present about the cost-benefit analysis on improving urban air qualities. And our group consists of 3 members, which is me, myself, and Binti Anan. Second is Nur Najah binti Mazlan. And third is Nuranis Balkis binti Muhammad Nasib. So next, we will go to the next slide, which is the introduction. What is CBE? Cost Benefit Analysis. CBE is to determine the alternative technologies to control the environmental pollution, and CBA also has been an important tool for environmental assessment, especially in increasing of accountability and consistency in decision making. So next is cost benefit analysis step, which it consists of 8 steps, and step 1 is to define the project. Step 2 is to identification of all impacts resulting from the implementation of the project. Step 3 is to determine of which impacts are to be counted based on the certain rules and conventions. Step 4 is the determination of the physical amounts of cost and benefit flows for a project and identification of when they will occur in time. Step 5 is to valuation of the physical measures of impact flows in monetary units. Step 6 is to conversion of the amounts of all relevant costs and also benefit into present money values. Step 7 is comparison of total cost and also total benefit, and if benefit are more than cost, the project is qualified for acceptance, at least to improve social welfare. And the last step is to the performance of a sensitivity analysis, which it is to assess the relevance of uncertainties. Okay, next slide is about the air quality problem. Our problem of these technologies, which is one of the major environmental pollution, is urban air pollution, in which it have becoming a serious problem that will affect humans, animals, cities, and also an aquatic system. So according to Asimacopoulos 2013, urban air pollution is targetedly caused by the combustion sources that can contribute to the potential consequences of human health problem. And Gulia et al. 2015 said one of the major contribution of urban air pollution are caused by poor vehicle maintenance and inadequate road infrastructure and low fuel quality. So urban air pollution from main factor, which is emission from vehicles, can develop critical impact of respiratory tract, which results in inflammation and tissue damage of respiratory system. So combustion of fossil fuels for transportations, power generation and other human activities can produce a complex mixture of urban air pollutant such as sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide and also carbon monoxide, particulate matter and also volatile organic compounds.
Urban air pollution from main factor, which is emission from vehicle, can develop critical impact of respiratory tract, which result in inflammation and tissue damage of respiratory system. The respiratory tract disease can be categorized into infection, which is upper respiratory tract infection and lower respiratory tract infection. Air pollution has various health effects. Susceptible and sensitive individuals can have an impact on health even on low air pollution days. Short-term exposure to air pollutants are closely related to chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, cough, shortness of breath, wheezing, asthma, respiratory disease, and high rates of hospitalization. The long-term effects of air pollution are associated with chronic asthma, pulmonary insufficiency, cardiovascular disease, and cardiovascular mortality. Following Swedish cohort study, diabetes seems to be induced after long term of air pollution exposure. Moreover, air pollution seems to have various malign health effects in human early life, such as respiratory, cardiovascular, mental and perinatal disorder, leading to infant mortality or chronic disease in adult age. Next, I will explain the CBA on urban air pollution. In order to monitoring of urban air pollution, cost-benefit analysis is conducted to compare the process control between the alternative technology. CBA will develop a wolf technology that can create a controlled environmental pollution, which is improving urban air quality by studying the comparison benefit between the technologies. Through CBA-based analysis, we can identify the outcome of the air pollution control programs and categorize the cost of air pollution control. In calculating the benefits of the CBA of each technology for the control pollution, the choice of analysis must be involved of the following issue.
So next, in this cost-benefit analysis project, we have three technologies, in which first is a gas to liquid, second is hydrogen fuel, and also third, air purifier.
Hi, my name is Awanis Balkis binti Muhammad Nasir, and I will briefly explain about my part, which is air pollution technology control using gas to liquid technology, or as known as GTL technology. So first of all, theoretically, GTL technology is known by converting natural gas to the cleanest burning fossil fuel and then into high quality liquid products that would otherwise be made from crude oil. These products include transport fuels, motor oils, and the ingredients for everyday necessities like plastics, detergents, and also cosmetics. Additionally, two broad technologies for GTL to produce a synthetic petroleum product is known, which are a direct conversion from gas and indirect conversion via synthesis gas. So, in GTL, there are three processes involved. So, the first stage, synthesis gas, is a mixture of hydrogen and carbon monoxide, is manufactured from natural gas by partial oxidation. Impurities are removed from the syngas. Second stage is by converting the synthesis gas into liquid hydrocarbons using a catalyst. In this stage, a liquid is formed which looks and feels like wax at room temperature. And then the final stage is cracking and isomerization, which tailors the molecule chains into products with desired properties. This yields high quality liquids such as diesel, kerosene, and lubricant oil. Okay, so next, I will proceed to the next point, which is the advantages of gas to liquid towards our environment. So first and foremost, gas to liquid technology is not only adds value, but it is capable of producing products that could be sold or blended into refinery stock as superior products with less pollutants, for which there is a growing demand. Second advantage is a higher cetane in GTL process represents a lower flame temperature that will provide a reduction in the formation of oxides in nitrogen that contributes to urban smoke and ground level ozone. Third is the low sulfur content in GTL that leads to significant reductions in particulate matter that is generated during the combustion process, and the low aromatic content reduces the toxicity of the particulate matter. Lastly, the naphtha that been produced in this technology is a sulfur-free and contains a high proportion of paraffinic material that suitable act as a cracker feedstock or the manufacturer of solvents. Meanwhile, for the disadvantages of gas to liquid technology, of course, there will be particulate matter hence produced during the compost of unburned carbon and also aromatic and compounds of sulfur. These can give bad impact to human respiratory problems, while certain complex aromatics have been found to be carcinogenic. And lastly, this technology is said to be highly capital cost of natural gas and also crude oil. So I proceed to the lifespan. It can be said that there is no specific lifespan for this technology, but since it is quite unlimited, although it hard to get, but as long as it still can be produced, thus the maintenance is always needed and preferable. For the environmental value, I'll give one example, which is Shell. Shell is investing some amount of money in this technology over 10 years with 4 plants. The agreement with the Egyptian government for 75,000 barrel per day facility and a similar plant for Trinidad and Tobago has been made. That results to the production with high paraffinic and free of sulfur and nitrogen, which actually is safe to our environment. Next point is the monetary value. which it is expected that the production in this technology could give higher profit because after being calculating all the monetary value and assuming the expected risk is 10%, so the value is positive 1187040 ringgit Malaysia profit. I proceed to my last point, which is the equipment and the technology investment. So there are 4 main points, which are the cost of the equipment, that includes all the equipment used in the GTL facility and also including individual equipment from all the units in the GTL process plant. Next, installation cost investment, which include the cost of installing various equipment on site. The sum of the total installation cost consists of such as piping, electrical, equipment erection, instrumentation and control, civil works, structures and building, and lastly legging and paint. Third is the outside battery limit cost, that includes other costs such as engineering and design, offsite and also contingents. So the investment is the working capital investment, which there is additional money needed in order to run the plant until the plant starts to earn income. For petrochemical industries, example, the working capital is typically approximately 50% of fixed capital investment.
Thank you. Today I will present about the hydrogen additive. First, the explanation of the technology. The technology that I will explain is a British manufacturer of CGON that released a test revolutionary new range of hydrogen additive products that can reduce engine emission by up to 80% and fuel saving up to 20%. It has been verified significantly reduce emissions such as CO2, HC, NOx, NPM, and PN. Basically, CGON is a 100% recyclable E0 hydrogen additive box, is fit within the engine bay and can be used as any fossil fuel engine. The system works by introducing small amount of very pure and very powerful hydrogen directly into the inlet chamber where it combines with the fuel-air mixture. The results show that hydrogen fuel-air mixture has a cooler burns which more faster than conventional mixture that creates a more complete combustion cycle. There are 4 advantages of the hydrogen additive. First, hydrogen is a clean, flexible energy sources to support zero carbon energy strategies. Hydrogen fuel cell provide an inherently clean source of energy with no adverse environmental impact during operation, as the byproducts are simply heat and water. Unlike biofuel or hydropower, hydrogen doesn't require large area of land to produce. In fact, NASA have been even working on using hydrogen as a resources with the water produced as a byproduct being used as a drinking water for astronauts. This shows that hydrogen fuel cells are a non-toxic fuel sources and therefore superior in this way to coal, natural gas, and nuclear power, which are all either potentially dangerous or hard to obtain. Production, storage, and use of hydrogen will play an important role in driving further development of renewable energy by balancing their intermittent supply modalities with the challenging end user demands, avoiding the need for significantly early investment to upgrade green infrastructure. The second advantage is the almost zero emission. Hydrogen fuel cells do not generate greenhouse emission as for fossil fuel sources, thus reducing pollution and improving air quality as a result with almost no emission. Hydrogen fuel cells do not release greenhouse gases, which means they do not have a carbon footprint while in use. The third for the advantage is no noise pollution and visual pollution. Hydrogen fuel cells do not produce noise pollution like other sources of renewable energy, such as wind power. This also means that much like electric cars, hydrogen powered vehicles are much quieter than those that use conventional internal combustion engine. Some low-carbon energy sources, including wind energy and biofuel power plants, can be an eyesore. However, hydrogen fuel cells do not have the same space requirement, meaning that there is less visual pollution too. And the last for the advantage is democratization of power supply. Hydrogen fuel cells have the potential to reduce the dependency of a nation on fossil fuel, which will help democratize energy and power supplies around the world. This increased independence will prove a benefit for many countries who are currently reliant on fossil fuel supplies. Of course, they will also avoid the problem of rising fossil fuel price as a stock reduce. Next, I will proceed to the disadvantage. First, hydrogen extraction. Despite being the most abundant element in the universe, hydrogen does not exist on its own, so needs to be extracted from water via electrolysis or separated from carbon fossil fuel. Both of these processes require a significant amount of energy to achieve. This energy can be more than that gained from the hydrogen itself, as well as being expensive. Second, the cost of a raw material. Precious metals such as platinum and iridium are typically required as catalysts in fuel cells and some types of water electrolyzer, which means that the initial cost of fossil fuel and electrolyzer can be high. This high cost has deterred some from investing in hydrogen fuel cell technology. Such costs need to be reduced in order to make hydrogen fuel cell a feasible fuel source for all. For the third advantage is fossil fuels are often used to produce it. Although hydrogen energy is renewable and has a minimal environmental impact, other non-renewable sources such as coal, oil and natural gas are often used to separate it from oxygen. While the point of switching to hydrogen is to get rid of using fossil fuel are often still used to produce hydrogen fuel. And the last one for the advantage is it is highly flammable. Since it is very powerful sources of fuel, hydrogen can be very flammable. In fact, it is on the news frequently for its many risks. Hydrogen gas burns in air at very wide concentration between 4 and 75%. The lifespan of the technology is for 1 year. The environmental value is the hydrogen is an environmentally friendly alternative to fossil fuel, and it can be used to power just about any machine needing energy. The fuel cell, which is the energy conversion device that can capture and use the power of hydrogen effectively, is the key to making this happen. Almost all waste gases are eliminated and drastically reducing harmful emission. The price for the technology is Rm2,640.97. For the justified equipment and technology investment, the company Consumer Products, the CGONE0, has been independently tested on the road by Emission Analytics. For the urban drive cycle, independent PEMS testing has shown reduction of 91.3 in PM particulate number or soot, plus a 47.9% reduction in NOx and a 50.6% reduction in NO2. The E01 can be fit to any internal combustion car in approximately 1 hour. It costs only Rm2,614.97 with 1 year lifespan. And lastly, for the monetary value, the identified risk is only 40% chance of occurring. If the risk occur, it will cost around Rm28.49 for the electrolyte. So, the probability risk is 40% times by Rm28.49 will get Rm11.40.
So next technology is air purification, which specifically smoke-free tower air purification that had been produced by this one company, which is the company name is Studio Respirate, that based in Netherlands. So The technology of the explanation of the technology for this smoke-free tower is it is a tower that provides a local solution of clean air in public places. It results in polluted air and emits it back out into the immediate surrounding as clean air. So it uses pattern positive ionization technology to produce smoke-free air in public spaces and allow people to breathe and experience clean air for free. So next point is the process work. The process work of this smoke-free tower, which is how this smoke-free tower works, which the polar compound of the smoke, which is CO, NOx, and others, are attracted to positively ionized air, which primarily oxygen, nitrogen, and also argon. And these compounds clump together and break down the ion as they accumulate around it. And this not only results in larger particulates, but it also assists in their isolation from the air. So the filtering machine in tower use ionic filters to charge and eliminate smoke particles, cleaning 30,000 cubic meters of air per hour, which roughly the size of 100 swimming pools, using a prior. So next point is the process work. The process work of this smoke-free tower, the polar compound of smoke is CO, NOx, and others, are attracted to the positively ionized air, which is primarily oxygen, nitrogen, and also argon. And these compounds clump together and break down the ion as they accumulate around it. This is not only results in larger particulates, but it also assists in their isolation from the air. So the filtering machine in the tower use ionic filter. This is because to charge and eliminate smoke particles and cleaning 30,000 cubic meters of air per hour, which roughly the size of 100 swimming pools, using a proprietary ionization technique similar to that used in hospitals. This method of filtering captures even the tiniest particles from the air while creating no ozone. The next point is the advantages in environment, which is the first advantages is it is useful in the area where the air pollution in a very higher rate. Second one is it can be used in open space, especially at gardens or green area where people go there for fresh air. Third one is it is work on less power consumption and it can reduce hazard that might be happen. Next is the disadvantages of this smoke-free tower, which is first, of course, it is high cost. Second is smoke-free tower can be the solution for a long time because it's only cover small area of surrounding. And the last one is to make sure all the specific area producing fresh air, it require a lot of smoke-free tower, so it costs a lot. Next point is the lifespan. It has not stated the specific lifespan, but it has been stated that in China, smoke-free tower just can be used for around few years, and it can be used after that. So I'm assuming the lifespan is 5 years. Okay, so next, the environmental value of the smoke-free tower air purification, which is this company that produce smoke-free tower, which is Studio Rosterec, has been collaborate with some other countries such as South Korea, China, Netherlands, Mexico, Poland, with the mission of clean air. So with this technology, it will give value added to the environment, and it also can be categorized under direct use value. The price of this smoke-free tower roughly are around 1,000 ringgit Malaysia. So next is the justification of the equipment and the technology investment. So this air purification smoke tower is nothing actually, but it is just a 20 feet tall air purifier, which are just like a very big air conditioner, and it is highly cost, which is around 10,000 ringgit. And not only that, the maintenance required around 2,500 to 3,000 every month. And it is made from a multiple air purifier on the inside, which include a HEPA filter, which is high efficiency particulate air. This smoke-free tower consists of 8 to 10 air purifier, but they only add with particulate matter and do not purify the gases polluted. Hence, these purifiers are not a good investment for a long period of time. So the next point is the monetary value, which is the identified risk is about 50% of chances of occurring. So if this risk occurred or happened, it will cost around RM5,000 ringgit, which is half price of the products. Plus with the maintenance are around 2,500 ringgit. So the monetary value is negative 3,750, which is it will count as loss, not as a profit. So the monetary value is negative.
So, in conclusion, CBA develops a wealth technology that can create a control environmental pollution, which is improving urban air quality by study the comparison benefits between the all technologies. So from those three technologies approach, which are gas to liquid technology, hydrogen fuel additives, and air purification, one of them has been chosen, which is gas to liquid technology, because based on the CBA made, it shows that the technology has greater environment benefit comparing to its cost. Hence, it is qualified for acceptance as the best technology among others. So, that's all from our group. Thank you.